Hello, everyone. My name is Robin Bukowski, and I am the assistant to the vice president of our organization. The purpose of this presentation is to become better communicators in the workplace. Being better communicators in the workplace is very important because it can have a major impact on our organization and affect the longevity of our organization. On your seats is the agenda for today's presentation. We're going to go over the many different things that can make us all effective communicators in the workplace and have a positive impact on our organization. There are many different styles of communication, such as analytical, intuitive, functional, and personal. Analytical communication style is communicators that prefer to communicate with data rather than emotions. Analytical communicators often are great at forming arguments that are solid, and they make sure that their points are made quickly and clear. This style of communication is often most effective in a business environment, and the analytical communicators often hold management positions. The intuitive communication style is the opposite of analytical communication style. The intuitive communicator prefers a more casual, big picture approach to get their points across. Intuitive communicators appreciate it when others communicate the same way. They like thinking that it, their thinking is outside of the box and details aren't as important to them. The intuitive communicator contributes big ideas. They are visual, meaning they like to see things and they like to avoid distractions. Functional communication style is the communicator that likes details, processes, timelines, and plans that are well thought out. They don't want any details left out, and their thoughts are laid out in a linear manner. The functional communicator asks a lot of questions, prefers plans that are complete, and they need consistent feedback. Personal communication style is when the communicator uses emotion and connection to help them to understand the world around them. It is valuable to them to assess how their coworkers think and feel and what they are motivated by. The personal communicator prefers to have personal relationships with the people they work with and use that relationship to gauge what they are thinking about. Key components to focus on: there are different types of communication, and here are some ways that they are used. Verbal communication. Verbal communication is self explanatory. This is obviously using our own words, and we should use a strong voice when speaking. Nonverbal communication could be body language or perhaps some type of eye contact to communicate nonverbally. Visual communication style: visuals are used if they add value, and make sure visuals are always clear and easy to understand. And there's also written communication. Make sure that the writing is effective and kept simple. What are the best practices in effective communication in the workplace? Communication skills in the workplace that can't be ignored are listening, straight talking, nonverbal communication, stress management, and emotion control. Listening is the most important aspect of communication. If a speaker can see the audience is listening and understanding, It can develop a stronger relationship between the audience and the speaker. A healthy dose of chatting with a person you don't know can potentially develop into a business opportunity, so straight talking is very important. According to Salesforce's research on interpersonal communication, 93% of communication is nonverbal. Developing the ability to communicate nonverbally can help the connection with others, and it could also build better relationships at home and at work. In smaller quantities, stress can also be helpful in the workplace. But if there's a lot of stress in the workplace, it can sometimes affect communication. So it is especially important to be able to manage the stress in the workplace. Also, having control of your emotions during communication is particularly important because not having control over your emotions can affect how others perceive you and also could have a negative way your coworkers are able to understand you. Positive impacts effective communication in the workplace can have. What positive impacts can effective communication have in the workplace? The benefits of effective communication in the workplace are mitigated conflict, increased employee engagement, improved productivity, improved client relations, healthy workplace culture, improved direction for the employees, job satisfaction, innovation increases, team building can be stronger, and improve public impression. These are particularly important benefits in the workplace and will just make the environment more flexible and it could boost employee morale. These benefits could also help reduce conflict and tension in the workplace. The effectiveness of the communication could also help employees feel that connection between other departments in the workplace. Ineffective communication in the workplace and what negative impacts that can have. Some things that can happen in the workplace when there is an ineffective communication, some things that can happen can be our clients can be dissatisfied, deadlines that we make are not met, efficiency can be impacted, our morale can go down, and employees have no direction. What are some statistics behind effective communication in the workplace? The stats behind effective communication in the workplace being most important are 7% of communication is verbal, 38% is the tone and reflection of the communication. A staggering 55% is body language. Over 80% of Americans think employee communication in the workplace is a way to develop trust with their employees, or sorry, with their employers. 81% of recruiters state that interpersonal skills are key. However, 60% of employers say a potential employee isn't considered as a possible hire based solely on their communication skills. What outside research has been done to come to all these suggestions in this presentation? Communication styles can be adapted depending on the audience, A great leader can use communication as a tool to motivate and inspire their audience. The more an audience is motivated and inspired, they are easily persuaded to join the speaker in a new cause and maximize their own impact. Great leaders can tailor their communication style set in their tone or pace, as well as their energy based on who they are speaking to. The benefits of adapting your communication style are that it shows we care, it allows us to practice more active listening, and it helps us to practice behavioral agility, leading by example, and maximizing the impact our words can have on the audience. In these next set of slides, this is some graphics I added to show the impact if communication in the workplace gets complacent. On this slide, it's just more graphics showing tips on effective communicating in the workplace. I think some of these are some very important ones. And on this slide, it's more graphics for effective communication in the workplace. But I think we as an organization could definitely use some of these tips to have better communication in our workplace. To wrap up this presentation, this proposal outlines effective ways of communicating in the workplace, whether it be written or verbal communication. There are many styles of communication, but no matter what type of style our management may have, this will give them the chance to communicate more effectively with their employees. By adopting this mindset, this will not only increase the productivity of our jobs, it will enable us to be perceived in a more positive light to our clients. Being perceived in a more positive light by our clients will ensure our organization is viewed in the business world as a strong organization that works together to get the job done. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.